Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters out there. Happy Friday to you. Thanks for joining me. I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, coming to you live from the TFNN television and radio network. For all of you folks listening in on the West Coast on the radio, thanks so much for either getting up or staying up and staying with us here at TFNN. We really do appreciate it. For me, I absolutely love doing this. This is my favorite time of day. My favorite time of day is when I wake up early in the morning when it's nice and still out there and you feel like, you know, the world is yours. And it's a beautiful time. But thanks for joining us. If you're listening on the archive up in New Hampshire at noon, we really appreciate that. And anywhere else around the world, it's time to stretch, you know. So stretch your body out, just shake it a little bit and change so that you are in a peak state of mind. No matter what it is you're doing in life, folks, you want to make sure whenever you're making a decision that the first thing you do is you just simply shake your body a little bit and make sure you are in a top peak state of mind. Now, every day I get to start off looking at my favorite spot in the world because it's all about vision. You know, and we were talking yesterday. Now, we'll go take a look at the markets right now. You know, you've got the markets, the Dow, the U.S. Futures markets are up. They're up pretty nicely. You've got Europe, that's up. And we'll go take a look at that because you know how you put out a grease fire? We're talking about the grease fires that, you know, sometimes you might have in your kitchen. Those are nasty fires, aren't they? But the way you put out a grease fire is you put all kinds of money over it. You just surround that grease fire with money, and that'll put out that grease fire right away. But before we go talk about the markets here, you know, it is so important to really be able to, if you want to manifest something in your life, and look, folks, we're doing it on a constant basis. Some people live in a world where they manifest negative things. We don't even really talk about that here because that is absolutely not what we're about here. And so that's why if a market's going up or down, we're still positive about it because it's nothing more than a pattern. It's patterns that exist, and once you accept that, once you understand that, you can learn how to play those patterns. With regard to patterns in your life, what you want to do is you want to bring all the good things into your life. And the more that you visualize or focus those great things in your life, the more that they will start to come true. And you want to have big visions. You know, big visions juice you up. So I always say that, like, if you're having trouble with a big vision, then go ahead and back it up a little bit. But sometimes if you're having trouble with a big vision, it's just simply because of the placement it is in your mind, in your eyes. And so if you are having trouble with that big vision, all you've got to do is visualize it getting larger and larger and brighter and brighter and brighter. Because some folks that really struggle with their big visions, when you really start talking to them about it, you really find out that it's not a very bright picture. That what it is they see it in such a distant area, that it is so far from them, that it makes it not believable or not achievable. If you feel that way about something in your life, doesn't matter whether it's health or wealth or relationships or managing your money, whatever it is you want to do, you've got to bring that vision forward. And the easiest way to do that, a simple exercise, is just simply go ahead and make that vision larger and larger and larger and see it, you know, bringing it forward. You know, if you saw this studio here, folks, you'd see all kinds of lights, you know, that are coming at me. So picture yourself in your own studio and see those lights and make that vision brighter and brighter. And it absolutely works. Look, I'm sure that each of you have got thousands of stories that you could share with me. If you just sat back and you started writing down all those great things that you've brought into your life, I'll bet you that you lived that moment before it actually happened. You somehow saw that moment before it actually happened. I don't care whether it was winning the lottery. Whatever it was, believe it or not, you played that moment in your life before. We talked yesterday, or spoke just briefly, about Roger Bannister and how he broke the 4-minute mile, and that for thousands of years, people had tried to do that. All runners from all over the world. Nobody could do it. He did it by envisioning it in his mind, by playing that out in his mind. He realized that his wall wasn't a physical wall, it was a mental wall. And we can learn from Roger Bannister, because once he broke through that wall, I mean, as of today, there's thousands of people that have broken the 4-minute mile. Yet for thousands of years, nobody could do it. What, it's in the Fruit Loops? It's in the water? No, folks, it's in the mind. It's in the vision. It's being able to, in that case there, when you see that somebody else can do it, then you believe that you can do it as well. You know, that's what inspires us inside. That's what. That's why we like watching movies. There's some movies in your life where you take a look at the underdog and you say, yeah, you know, I could be that guy. You know, for me, I enjoy watching movies like Rudy. There's several others out there where, you know, you just see that person that just simply comes through. Maybe how about the movie about Reuben Hurricane Carter? You know, and, you know, or how about a movie about Nelson Mandela? There's folks right there. You take a look at two people that were in prison. You would think that those folks would be so bitter about life. Imagine Nelson Mandela. Well, how is it that he made it through what he did? If you go read stories about Nelson Mandela, what you will find out, folks, is that what he says, all he was doing was focusing on and preparing for the time when he would be walking out of that jail cell. That's what he was doing. His vision was on the positive side. His vision was on his larger vision. His vision was not on the negative side. You don't want to be focused on the negative side. And so Roger Bannister, we can learn from. You can just simply learn from yourself. In my case, you know, I was talking about some of my time in Las Vegas. I was talking about how I happened to be in Las Vegas, I guess, at the right time, at the right place. Still didn't matter. It was me bringing a new industry into Las Vegas when it was everything that was on the casino floors was nothing more than a machine or a table. It was all about gaming. And yet I was there taking a look at little nooks and crannies because I had a retail concept that could fit in maybe about a 10 by 6 square foot of space. If I had 10 feet long and about 6 to 9 feet, folks, I could create some amazing revenue out of those locations. And it was entertainment that I was selling. It was vision that I was selling. It was taking somebody's face, putting it on somebody else's body, and immediately turning that into a different vision. Yeah, I'm that movie star. I'm from Raiders, you know, Harrison Ford from Raiders of the Lost Ark, or Conan the Barbarian, or whatever it might have been. It might have just simply been an athlete. And we had all kinds of images like that, but it was basically allowing people to vision themselves as something else, something that they wanted to be, whether it's just for that moment. And what that would turn into, from a business standpoint, that would turn into ka-ching. That would turn into dollars. Now, how did I actually get those locations? How did I overcome, how did I overcome coming into Las Vegas, being an outsider, not an insider? And how did I overcome, no, we only put slot machines there, this, that, or the other thing? Well, I did it through vision, folks. You see, what I would do is I would scope out a location. Then I would sit there for sometimes days or keep coming back at different times of the day and understand traffic flow. Because in business and in life, everything is about location, location, location. You being here right now is all about location. You're at the right location here at TFNN. You're here because of all the great folks that we've got, because of the information that we can provide. In that business, it was also about location. Well, when you take a look at that, so I would do that homework. Then what I would do is, because I could see how the traffic would flow, I could decide where the camera needed to be, where our employees needed to stand so that they could easily interact with guests, and whether or not it was really a good location. I then would take pictures, I would measure everything, and would go back, and I would create exactly what this store, what this little kiosk would look like in that spot. And when I made my presentations, folks, yeah, the numbers were what they ended up being most amazed about, what they were really interested in, because in some 10 by 8 square foot spots, I would generate maybe about $1.5 million in that little space. $1.5 million in that little space. Sometimes it was more than that. And and those were important, but what really hooked people, what people were able to see was the mere fact that I rendered the entire location. First, it was just a close-up of that space. Then it was further back from a casino view. And when I provided those renderings to folks, they could visually see what it was all about. All of a sudden, I turned their vision on. And it was a space that wasn't being used. Heck, I did it at Harrah's in Las Vegas. There's a crosswalk that goes between the Mirage and Harrah's. And Harrah's, it used to be open all the time. I don't know if it is anymore because they have redone it since the last time that I was there. And it was nothing more than just a big wind curtain. But there were literally, it was probably one of the best trafficked crosswalks at that time. And what was there was pretty much a lot of space, if you will. And so I was able to convince folks at Harrah's that this was a great location. They weren't going to put any slot machines there, and that I was able to generate a ton of revenue. I mean, a ton of revenue. And it all happened because I was able to help them visually see what that area could do. Well, it works that way in life. You know, I'm here today because of what I visualized from the moment that I met Tom O'Brien, from the moment that I attended one of his master trading courses, from the moment that I decided that I was going to immerse myself in the technical trading. Once you decide that that's, in my opinion, when you decide that you're going to do something, you ought to just really do it. You ought to immerse yourself in it. Now, not at the expense of everything else in your life, but the amazing thing is you really can find more time in your life. What you do is you're just getting rid of the time where you're just really not getting anything productive done. And not that maybe sitting around and just watching a game on TV or what have you maybe isn't productive or helpful, but in today's age of technology, you know, there are times on the weekends when I'm sitting there watching the football games and doing work at the same time, truly multitasking. Several monitors set up in my office, not the office here, in the office here for sure too, but just in life. And so what can you do? Well, I don't know about you, but I'm able to pull up ESPN on my computer, have a little small screen, have multiple games going if I want. And at the same time, also doing some work for you or for my clients, looking for some clues in the marketplace, like what's going on. Like what's going on today with the Dow futures being up 130, the NASDAQ futures being up 23, the S&Ps being up 14. Have we just put out the grease fire? You know, is the grease fire being put out because we're putting more money on it? Probably not. You know, well, we'll go take a look at the patterns in those markets, but you absolutely can find more time. I want you to find more time because what I want you to be able to do is I want you to be able to amass that financial fortune, whatever that is. I want you to be able to get financial freedom in your life, and you've got to envision it. So do me a favor this weekend. You know, please just picture what it is that you want to become. What is it that would make you happy? Because, folks, make that picture brighter, make it bigger. I promise you, you can make that happen. Because I know the power that you've got, folks. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Are you looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to thefrontoftfnn.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Don't forget, you can test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you're going to have a great Friday, a great weekend out there. Right now, you've got the Dow futures up about 148, NASDAQ up 26, the S&P's up 16, Russell up 14, gold contract up $31, silver you got up 96 cents. Got a little bit of a price move going on in those markets. Why? Because Tom's King Dollar is pulling back a little bit. Right now, you got the dollar down 64 ticks, and it's trading out at 76.61. So what's that dollar doing? Well, if you're watching us on Tiger TV, and you absolutely should, you've got to make Tiger TV a must, folks. And the reason is because you're able to follow along and take a look at these charts, and maybe it'll help to put some of the some clarity in your mind from a visualization, from a picture standpoint, when I talk about retracement levels, when I talk about a ruler between swing points, if you will, and coming back to 3 primary areas, either 382, 618, 786. We don't know why these work, but they do. These Fibonacci retracements, that's what we call them, they absolutely do work. They work within a really good range, and it helps you to understand what's going on in the market so that you can make decisions about how it is that you're investing your money. It's one of the tools that I use in taking a look at what's going on in the market. So if we look at the dollar index, what you can see is, and this is the daily chart on the dollar index, you'll see on this bounce up, you pretty much would see 3 primary swing points, if you will, on the way up. The first one is the lows from August the 29th area. The low there was 73.68. It's where the market turned. You see that the market on the dollar here was going sideways for quite some time, going all the way back, really, if you looked at it, was going back sideways from at least July 14th. If I pulled it back further, maybe it was even going sideways further. And but right here, this was a low. It was a turn in the market, and it moves all the way up into the September 12th time frame. The high there on the dollar index was 77.89. Pulls back just a bit for 4 or 5 sessions. Pulls back to September 15th. The low was 76.09. That became really our second swing point. So the first one was at the bottom. We go up. Then we come back down, and there was another swing point right there at the bottom. The market goes then, or say the dollar index goes up into September 26th. The high it makes there is 79.64. Pulls back a little bit for 3 trading sessions to a low of 77.83 on the 28th of September. That really marked our third swing point, if you will, in this move up. And then the final phase, if you will, the dollar gets all the way to 80.43. It does that on October 4th. Then what does it do? Well, the dollar index, as you can see, it retraced back, and it retraced pretty much in a straight line. There wasn't any retrace. There wasn't any breathing pattern, if you will, and it pulled back to the 0.786 area of the, what I'd call the first major swing point on that move up. That's coming back to the September 15th area. That area was 77.02, and it's held there really for 7 trading sessions. And today, it kind of said, see it, don't want to be it. Is the way that you put out a grease fire, put more U.S. dollars on the fire? Is that the deal? Is that what our charts are telling us? Well, maybe so. Now, what else is the chart telling us? Well, if you go back to the low of this session, if you will, when we're taking a look at the swing points, referring back to the August 29th area, all the way up to the high, we made 80.43, and you take that retracement rule and you come all the way back. Well, that 618 area happens to be at 76.19. 76.09 was the low of that swing point from September 15th. That right now is where the dollar index wants to trade down to. It's broken through that 0.786 area. Looks at 76.54. Looks like it wants to get to 76.09. Will it do that today? It very well may. And if it does that today, you'll see our markets up fairly large going into the weekend. Do you want to buy into this market? Do you think you're going to miss the move if you buy into this market? Well, maybe not so fast. What happens when the dollar index gets down to that 76.19 area? When we find out that, you know what, maybe putting out a grease fire isn't really done with U.S. dollars. And then the dollar continues to move its way up. Because, you see, a normal retracement area, especially when you're taking a look at between major swing points, would be a 0.618 pullback. That's at 76.09. And once you get there, that very easily, especially in this case here, it's not making an ABC down pattern. It's making just simply a straight pullback, folks. And when you do that, many times you're just setting up the B to the C of the next ABC up in this case here. Well, if the dollar starts moving up from there, if that 76.09 area holds, folks, you're looking at some major pressure in the markets. And maybe it's because, well, there's going to be all kinds of European dollars, European debt that's thrown on that big old grease fire that's out there. Anyways, 877-927-6648. If you want, you give me a call. We can go take a look at a stock, a market. Our markets will be open when we get back, and I'll see you in just a few.
Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in a complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this trader's market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com, under newsletter, hit the Market Insight tab for your 2-week free test drive right here, right now.
Homeowners, did you know a burglar could break into your home and get away in just 5 minutes? A locked door may not be enough to keep a thief out of your home. Think about what you can lose, and then think about this. Now you can get a free security system monitored by ADT, the leader in home security. Pick up your phone now and get free hardware, free medical and fire alert, and free activation. It's an $850 value. Just call Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, at 1-800-949-8207. You'll get 24-hour protection, and there's no cost for parts or activation. So call now about a free security system monitored by ADT. Call 1-800-949-8207. $99 installation charge. 36-month monitoring agreement at $35.99 a month. Call for terms and conditions to this offer and protect your home license numbers. Call now. 1-800-949-8207. That's 1-800-949-8207.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio. Therefore, we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
And we're off to the races. You've got the Dow up 131, the composite up 26. Small caps up 10, S&P's up 13, and let's go take a look at the SPY chart out here. Now, one of the things, and hopefully you're watching us on TigerTV, folks, is you'll see the island reversal candle here that was made on the SPYs going back to July 7th. 2011. And, you know, we've talked about the island reversal candle that's on Apple. We'll go take a look at that as well in a bit. And it's really important to be on the lookout for these candles at the top or the bottom because they really are a significant candle and it's a formation of candles. It's really 3 candles, if you will, in this case here. And what I'm talking about, folks, is if you look at a chart on July 6th or you're watching us on Tiger TV, you can see on July 6th the high of the SPYs was 134.14. The next day, it gaps up, and the low is only 134.88. Then what's it do in the following trading session? Gaps down. And what happens is it creates this island out there. And it's one of those deserted islands, if you will, except for the folks that are left on there. And that day in the SPYs, there were 169 million shares that were out there. Certainly there was more than blocks of just one that were bought. But there are some folks that are absolutely still stranded out there right now. I guarantee you there are folks that have become long-term investors in the SPY that were holding it at 135. You're trading at 123 right now. Imagine how they felt when the SPYs got down to 107. Well, right now, all that the SPYs are doing, first, they're below the March 16th area, and that March 16th area was really the last time during, after that was an area here where the SPYs had, in all the indexes, you can see the volume bar out there, where there was some substantial volume, as the SPYs pulled back to that area. That had, let's see here, 466 million shares. Now, what the SPYs are doing right now are just simply in this little sideways consolidation pattern. You can see how it's really been going sideways, since the lows that were made on August 9th came up to the high on August 31st. The high on that swing point there, folks, is 123.51. It's trading at 123. Wouldn't surprise me if it tried to hit that 123.51. You can see there was an attempt to do that on October the 18th. Actually got up to 123.50. Now, the volume at that 123.50 on the 18th was 318 million shares. That was going into 301 million shares. It still didn't couldn't bust it up, and so we'll see the volume today, and it's Friday. So Friday can be a weak volume. So here's the most bearish scenario that you could see from the standpoint of this consolidation period, saying, I want to go back down and test the bottom. Well, why would it want to test the bottom? Because you've got a low there from October 4th with 458 million shares. That's one of the reasons it would want to go back there and test that out. And so the most bearish thing that you would see is that today you'd see the SPYs get over that 123.51, do it on less than 301 million shares, close back below 123.51. That would tell you the testing there is over. It doesn't have to get up there today, but that's something that you should be on the lookout. We absolutely have to be concerned about this island reversal candle, just simply about the major volume on the way down. And so that's what's going on in the SPYs. If we go quickly, not quickly, we can do it as quickly as we want or take as much time. And if we take a look at Apple here, I think I can pull that up in just a quick minute. We'll take a look at the island reversal pattern inside Apple. Let me just go ahead and actually call that chart up here on the screen. And what we'll see is that Apple had created this island area here for 3 trading sessions, going back to the 14th, 18th, and 19th. And what we have right now is Apple's trading at 397. So what Apple is likely going to do is it's going to come down and at least test this October 4th bar. The high out there is 381.80, low is 354. We'll see what kind of volume Apple's got as it gets into that area. If it's got 44 million shares or more, it's going to want to go test the bottom of that swing point. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of the money game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how. At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
I'm very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, Did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Here's what people are saying about TigerTV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
TigerTV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by South American Silver Corporation. For more information, just click the South American Silver Corporation banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
it's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. It's going to be a great Friday here at TFNN. Following this show, you've got Tom and I doing the Money Masters. Then you've got Mr. Basil Chapman. And then Nico DeHaan. He's going to get us healthy and fit. And then in the 3 to 4 session, you got David White, who's going to lead things off for Tom 4 to 6. And, you know, speaking of David White, folks, what you want to do is you want to go to the homepage of TFNN.com. There's a free webinar next week. If you're looking for some charting software, in fact, even if you're not looking for some charting software, you should go over there, because if you are a person that likes to, you know, trade these Gartley and butterfly patterns, David has created this advanced screening tool that helps you to identify all kinds of Gartleys and butterflies that are out there. Not just ones that are sitting up right now, but you can go back and you can take a look at that chart, and you can go back and quickly see how many other Gartleys or butterflies were setting up, so that you can determine how well those patterns work, because life is about patterns. You've got patterns, the markets have patterns, and what David has done is he's automated taking a look at the Gartley and butterfly area, and being able to show those patterns on your screen. It's a much quicker way of doing it than the way that I do it here, as I'm drawing my advanced patterns on my screen. So you want to do that. There's a sneak peek for that software. It is next Wednesday, October the 26th. October the 26th. Man, that's going to be a day of fireworks, folks. You know, we've been talking about October 26th as being the next large planetary index day. And there's only 35 of these planetary index dates that occurred during a 300-year period of time. That is, you know, an outlier, if you will. And I'm talking between 1800 and 2100. And this coming Wednesday is another one of those days. What else do we have going on? You've got Lunar Wednesday. You've got a new moon coming. You've got the moon at perigee, which is when it's closest to us at Earth during that cycle. So you've got a lot of fireworks, and then those fireworks are going to be capped off by the finale by David White and taking a look at the art of the chart. So go over to the homepage, sign up for that. You absolutely want to do that. And because it's just so helpful. It's so helpful to understand these Gartley and these butterfly patterns that are going on. If we go take a look at what's moving and what's grooving out there, you've got Priceline is up $7 right now, and you know, don't really see much going on there. You know, that has been a high-flying stock, if you will. You know, William Shatner certainly has done a great job in that. I think they paid him all in all kinds of stock when it was about $23 a share. You know, right now it's trading out at $4.81. What has this stock done here? You see, this thing is in, you know, a consolidation pattern. It came right back to this high volume breakout. And, you know, you want to be able to understand volume bars inside charts. And again, I just got the daily chart up, and you can see how the stock broke out on February 24, 2011, did it with 4.4 million shares. And when I mean a breakout, folks, what I'm talking about is where you see a significant price movement, where you have wide volume and wide price spread, if you will. Large volume, high volume, wide price spread. The session before, on the 23rd, the stock had a low of 416. It closed at 425. Did that with 2.5 million shares. The next day opens up, maybe on earnings. It's got 4 million shares. So, you know, you've got more than double the shares, if you will. Tries to pull back to close that gap. Didn't do it then. We talk about those being gap ups, or we talk about gap downs. I like to look at those things as open windows, because open windows, and it's getting cool down here in Florida. It's in the 60s this morning. I think that, you know, winter is upon us. So for all you folks in the north, come on down and visit us here at TFNN. We're in Suite 618. Of course we're in Suite 618. But you take a look here at Priceline, and what does Priceline do when it closes that window? If we go back and take a look at that volume, that 4.6 million shares that it traded with, that it gapped up with, 4.4 million shares. When it came back, folks, and it closed that window, it did with 2.6 million shares. And so it closed that window, you know, moved higher. Now, you've got to be careful here with Priceline if you're in Priceline. Why? Because right now it happens to be in this pattern where it's making lower highs and lower lows. So it's in that little down channel, if you will. If we take a look at Priceline on a weekly basis, see what's going on even a longer-term chart, you know, still doesn't really look that bad. You know, what you have to be careful of is that if Priceline decided to fall out of bed, where would it fall back to in price? Well, you go back to the last high volume weekly bar that you have out there. That's August 6, 2010. August 6, 2010, folks, the high there is 298. You're sitting at 483 right now. So what do you want to do if you're in Priceline? Look, you want to at least have a stop underneath the low that was put in on September 30th. That low there was 449.33. It's trading at 484 right now, so that'd be another about 7, 8, 9%. And you want to make sure that you've got, I'm sorry, the low is 411.26. So that would be about 10%, more than 10%. You 15, 17% out there, I suppose. But you want to make sure that you've got a stop in place here because that is where Priceline would fall back to. If we go take a Google's on the move today, let's just go look at that Google chart here real quick. And Google is, not much going on. Here's, you can see in Google, had fantastic earnings, absolutely fantastic earnings. And you can see how Google gaps up. Well, where does Google gap up to? Well, first go back to the last gap that Google had. That last gap was on July 15th. So you talk about some wide price spread. When it closed the day before, it closed down at 526. And it opens up the following trading session, opens at the 592 area. That's a nice wide price spread, $70 or so. And what does it do it on? It does it on big volume. It does it on 13 million shares. Not that it's huge volume, but if you're looking at the volume candles on the bottom of my chart here, that sure sticks out at you. And what does Google do when it on the earnings release that it had on October 14th? It gaps up all the way to the same spot. The session trading before that, the high on that was 559. It closed at 558, and it gaps up to the open. The following session opens at 599. Not as large of a gap as the time before, and not as large of a volume bar either, right? It gaps up on only 8.5 million shares versus the last time gapping up with 13 million shares. Now, the high on that July 15th gap, folks, that was 625. It couldn't even make it all the way to the top of that. Made it to 599.60 on lighter volume, and then it pulled back. So some of those folks, that's a little supply line out there. Some of those folks were just simply taking their money because they didn't like it when Google was trading around 480, and they had bought it on that gap at the 600 area. So, right now it's trading at 591. No real conviction here. Look for Google to close its window at some point in time in the future as well. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
As Tom says, go long America. Now you can join TFNN and Barnes & Noble to keep money in your community. Purchase Tom's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, your ultimate trading mastery system, before October 31st from your local Barnes & Noble store. And you will be given access to not just one, but two exceptional archived courses. Tiger Scaling, the Tiger Butterfly, and Gartley. The Art of Timing the Trade is more than just a book. It's an educational journey that will help you understand the Wall Street greed cycle and learn how to recognize profit from genuine price moves. So, for the cost of just under $30, you will receive in excess of $300 in trading education from Tom O'Brien, TFNN, and Barnes & Noble. And you will be helping to support an important local business, your local bookstore. If you do not have a Barnes & Noble in your community, then go to your local bookstore. We'll be sure to work with them to keep your purchase local. So let's support our local businesses. Keep money in your community and get a great education. But be sure to act now, because you only have until October 31st to take advantage of this opportunity. Go to the front page of TFNN.com for details.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit tfnn.com today.
Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York Stock Exchanges under the symbol GBG.
Now is the time for Tiger Dollars. Purchase $250 or more before October 31st and receive a 30% match. Go to the front page of TFNN.com and get your Tiger Dollars today.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Together, folks, welcome back. 877-927-6648. You get the Dow up 164, S&P's up 16, small caps up 10. You got the composite up 33, and folks, one of the things that hopefully you're watching this on Tiger TV, and there's a couple of signatures, and I'm looking at the diamond charts. That's the DIA. That's the ETF for the Dow 30 stocks, folks, and there are a couple of signatures, if you will. There's a couple of monsters that are getting out of the Dow diamonds. If you take a look at the 1340, so that would be 140 in the afternoon on the 19th, you had 2.2 million shares trade hands. And the first signature, if you go back and listen to one of the shows that I did, it would have been sometime on the 17th, probably was the 18th, because this happened at 1:10 a.m. There was another, that monster let loose of 1 million shares or so. Look, that's this is a 10-minute time frame, so it's a little bit less than that. If I go back to the 1-minute charts or what have you, I could actually go back and find what the entire lot was. And in this case here, that was the first signature when we had that high volume bar, and so somebody is, you want to be careful, folks, here. Just because the market is moving higher this morning, when we started off the show, we were taking a look at that pullback in the dollar to that 0.618 area. That's nothing more than a normal move here. If you start looking for volume, look, when you get to higher prices, you want to see volume. So be careful, if you're in the Dow right now, because this is telling us there's some monsters in here that are just simply getting out. And does somebody know something about that grease fire? Is there something called buy on the rumor, sell on the news? Interesting. Let's go take a look at what else we've got out here in some of these ETFs, folks. If you go take a look at the SPYs, let's see what we have at the SPYs here. The SPYs right now are trying to test this high. Now, I've got a 10-minute chart up, and if you go back to 1520, so you're going back to 3:20 in the afternoon on the 18th of October, you're looking at a volume of 21 million shares. It has already gotten above that high, and let's see here. What you're looking at is watch to see if we have a failure of price up here. You're certainly going to have a failure of volume because there's basically no volume. We're talking 349 million shares, 349,000 shares, and you've got 4 minutes left in that trading session. So you got 349,000 shares taking on 21 million shares. Who's going to win that battle, folks? So be careful with what you see here in these markets. Not that they can't move higher, but when you start moving higher, you start crossing swing points on lighter volume. It is saying there's a kibosh that is going to be coming your way at some point in time. If you go look at the small caps, you can go back to the 10-minute swing point out here. That happens to be at the 3:20 time frame on October 18th. If you look at the low of that bar, it's 70.67. The high is 71.29. You've got 5.9 million shares. I'll just draw it from the low of that bar. Right now you're trading just above that. How many shares? 552,000 with 3 minutes left to go. 552,000 taken on 3.3 million. Who's going to win that battle, folks? Hey, not that the small caps can't move up to the 71.29 area, but watch how it closes as we come into that 10 a.m. time frame. If we go take a look at, what do we got? The Qs. Let's go take a look at the so-called strength in the market, huh? The strength in the market on the Qs, it can't even get up near that swing point that we just looked at on the SPYs and on the small caps. The Qs have only gotten back to that 0.786 here. You've got Apple and Google trading up, what, $8, $6. Apple, I'm not even sure where Apple's trading. It's not showing it on my green screen, if you will. Anyways, folks, stay tuned for Tom and I. Thanks so much for being here with me. Time flies so fast, and I'll look forward to seeing you in about 8 minutes. And if you're not with us, I'll see you on Monday morning. Have a great weekend. Be back shortly.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Are you looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort